Although many brands come to mind when thinking about budget phones, it's rare that any of them stand out. Perhaps because they're aimed at more general users, so compromises are usually made to meet a lower price point. Still, brands consistently put out budget options as they are buyers for them. So the challenge is finding the right compromise to achieve the most affordable price point, so that it may stand out as the valued option. And I think the Poco X5 Pro is exactly that, with the right mix of specs at the price of just over 400 Singapore dollars. The X5 Pro measures at just 7.5mm thin and features a flat edge design that comes in blue, black and yellow. Our black variant has a sandblasted texture on the back along with the matte textured sides. The yellow variant also seems pretty interesting with a yellow accented power button. But honestly, whichever version you choose will look good nonetheless. Speaking of the power button, you have a side-mounted fingerprint sensor built into it as well, similar to the Xperia phones. It will vary from user to user, but personally, I prefer it this way since I can unlock the phone while taking it out of my pocket or bag. Working around the rest of the phone, you'll find the usual SIM tray, USB-C port, speaker grills, headphone jack, and a camera compartment that doesn't protrude too much. Overall, solid build quality and design, but I do have a thing for phones with flat screens, so no complaints here. Moving on to the display, its 6.67-inch AMOLED panel delivers a rich visual at a variable refresh rate of 60 or 120Hz. Again, no issues on this end, though it's a little on the larger side for my liking, but for people who consumes lots of videos on their phone, it's perfect. The dual speakers are also average at best. Now, I say this a lot, but it's the reality of phone speakers, especially budget ones. Either it's uninterestingly average, or it's mind-blowingly awesome, like the Black Shark. In this case, it's pretty muddy and lacking in any sort of bass, but it's good enough for average use. Here's a sample I took at 50% volume with our 3DO. In the specs department, Poco stuffed the X5 Pro with a Snapdragon 778G, a natural choice considering the price point. In most cases, it's more than sufficient for your media consumption and gaming, unless you go all out with the graphics settings, which will definitely result in a few drop frames here and there, especially for graphic-intensive games like Diablo. Numbers-wise, the X5 Pro just slightly edges out the Snapdragon 888. If you are in the MediaTek camp, that's slightly above the Dimensity 1300 or below the 8100 Max, depending on how you look at it. Nothing short of expectation. In fact, all the phones listed just so happen to cost so much more than the Poco X5 Pro, which says a lot about the value and prowess altogether. Onto the OS. MIUI 14 has been pretty responsive during my time with it. It's been known for a while that MIUI tends to emulate iOS-like functions, like a control center swipe from the top right, or how it displays its notifications. This made the transition fairly seamless since I just came from using an iPhone 14. And of course, being based on Android also offers a certain level of customizability. One thing to note though is that you need to take a minute or two to uninstall some of the bloatware that comes with it. But if that doesn't bother you, then no worries there. Also, I would like to take this opportunity to mention this neat little feature that allows you to change the pitch of your voice while gaming. It's pretty cool, take a listen.
Voice changer test, voice changer test.
Voice changer test, voice changer test.
On the camera department, the X5 Pro is equipped with a 108MP main, a 8MP ultra wide, and a 2MP macro. You'll want to make full use of the 108MP camera, and I mean in every situation you possibly can, as the ultra wide camera is just average and almost unusable in low light without night mode. I would also advise against using the macro cameras because it kind of sharpens the image a little too much, and you get a much better result applying digital zoom or crop to your main camera. The phone can also shoot up to 4K at 30fps, and you know how it goes with phone videos, it's alright. Overall, I personally enjoyed shooting with the X5 Pro, at least for the main camera. Its performance is arguably right up there with some flagship phones. Arguably though. So surprisingly, battery life is the part that impressed me the most. Having a large 5000 mAh battery is already a plus point in itself. But Poco's optimization really brings it up a notch. I started the day with 100% and ended the day 12 hours later at about 15%, with usage consisting of quite a bit of YouTube videos, live streams, the occasional Pokemon Unite, and general usage. I could probably squeeze another half a day out of it if I'm more conservative with my usage. But since the included 67W charger can juice up the phone in less than an hour, saving battery is the least of my concerns. The Poco X5 Pro is priced at 429 Sing dollars for the 6 plus 128GB storage configuration and 469 Sing dollars for the 8 plus 256GB storage configuration. If that is somehow still very pricey for you, its younger brother, the X5, is also a considerable option, costing just 80 Sing dollars cheaper, with a slightly weaker SoC and camera. To sum it up, my experience with the X5 Pro has been nothing short of fantastic. I certainly have no complaints about it, and I find it an easy recommendation for anyone who is just looking for a reliable and affordable phone without all that bells and whistles. And that's about it for my take on the Poco X5 Pro. If you like what you see here, be sure to like this video and subscribe or follow us on our social media channels for more of such tech related content. Until then, cheers!